Need that depression music, you know what I mean? Anxiety, boredom. That's what I've been feeling. That's what I've been feeling for the past few years. There's this constant expectations put on me. As I can't do fucking shit because, you know, I'm testing something that's already been tested, you know? All the bugs, they're in the fucking database. What am I doing here? I'm just sitting there, finding nothing bugs and entering them all day. Sorry, I'm waiting for the music to fill me with pain, you know? I need it. People don't fucking know how games work. They really don't. They go, this game has bad writing, it sucks, it's woke. When it's like, okay, well, it doesn't suck because it's woke. That's not the issue. It sucks because it's made by like those fucking companies, right? That they're trying to make something as appealing as possible to as huge of a demographic as possible. So, you know, no like, hey, this will be cool. No, we need something that's been proven to work, right? And that's been said a million times. Like, there's still people out there who's like, no, we need hot women, please. And like, I get it, alright? I love Dead or Alive. That's one of my favorite games ever. But like, that's not the problem with video games. Okay, if you remove the woke from like fucking Dustborn, are you gonna be like, oh man, Dustborn is my shit? No, you're not gonna be like that because Dustborn is just, it's not your type of game. It's not for you, man. But anyway, all I'm trying to say is I don't know what this video is. Okay, it's the second time I try recording it. I don't know where it's going, but I can't get too specific for obvious reasons, but I also don't want to just be like, hey, here's like the obvious. I just want to kind of like tell my story of being in QA and all this bullshit, right? While also being like, hey, this is how it reflects in the industry in general, right? And yeah, I grew up wanting to become a game designer. I'm like, yeah, I want to test game for a living. That sounds fun. That sounds fucking amazing, man. I want to play games for a living. That would be so cool. And, you know, I grew up and I was like, you know, maybe that's not the best idea ever. You know, maybe I should go into like computer science and stuff like that, become IT or some shit. I don't fucking know. And because of like family pressure, I had to like quit school and get a real job. And I did some restaurant jobs, all that. But then I got a QA job, applied, and they were like, hey, do you know who Jill Valentine is? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, all right, come to the office, man. Come to the office right now. And there was like 20 people or so. You know, they made us play a really buggy game. And they're like, hey, can you tell me what a bug is? Can you differentiate the type of bugs? And can you get some screenshot of bugs and write them on this text document? And I passed, as everyone did, except that one person who only played Facebook games. Facebook games, baby, let's go. And they're like, yeah, I like to play those games where you click the items. You try to find the picture, the items in the picture. You know, I'm like, oh, okay. They did not get the job. It's sad. It's really sad. But it's really fucking easy to get into QA. Really fucking easy. Now, there's multiple types of QA, alright? Let me draw you a cool diagram here, alright? So you got the main one. You got good old FQA, alright? That's functionality. So that's like anything that's like sound effects, visual effects, flickering issues, clipping issues. Crashes can fall into anything generally, but mostly it's gonna be FQA. You got your CQA, right? CQA is certification. So you got your Nintendo, you got your Sony, you got your Microsoft, you got your Google Stadia, You got your Ouyas, alright, you got all of this bullshit. Alright, you got your Epic games, and they all have requirements for the game to be certified for platforms, right? Mostly legal stuff, you know, no PlayStation controller in the Xbox game, that kind of deal. So, you know, it's generally pretty straightforward. You usually just have like kind of a checklist, and you kind of like go through it and make sure that the game works, is certified, it works properly. And the other one I've done, those are just the ones I've done, but there's LQA, which is localization, right? TQA, mobile phone, VR. Switch has like a bunch of like microphone and camera bullshit that would fall under TQA as well. Anything that's like just not, I play with the controller, and you know, anything unusual, right? PC compat also falls under that, so like testing a game on like, let's say like 50 different CPU and GPUs and seeing if they all work properly with the game, that falls under there. I don't know why I drew this, but it helps, right? It helps. But FQA is the worst one. Like, legitimately, FQA is the fucking worst one. Because, it's usually the ones that last too long. Like, you know, like live service games, where like, they're like, oh no, this game needs to keep going. Well, that means the testing also needs to keep going. And you're basically being drip fed content that has maybe a few bugs you find the moment this drops, and then your expectations stay the same. I'm like, no, you need to still find 2 bugs a day. Fuck you. Was that you've had no new content for like 2 months? Where's the 2 month the 2 bugs, buddy? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know, and you're like, well, you know, when you start testing a bug, you know, there should be a lot of bugs. It should be going down. And as it goes down, the devs are happy because there's less bug. That's not how it works on the QA side. That's how it works from the dev side, but from the QA side, we're like, no, we need to prove our worth, so the bug count needs to go up somehow. I don't know how. It needs to go up, motherfucker. I'm in pain. Anyway, because, you know, if it goes down, they're like, well, we don't need you anymore. Please find more bugs. So it needs to, like, you know, kind of like stay consistent is generally what leadership will try to tell you. Be like, yo, stay consistent, please. But at the same time, if you just stay consistent, well, you don't level up, you don't get a raise. They're like, no, you need to get better. It's to show your worth. To become, well, there's too many leads, so you can't become a lead. Don't be silly now. There's too many leads who just sit there and fuck around in Excel sheets and have never touched the game. That's right. Most of my leads have never played the games that they're making us test. They don't know what's happening with the game in terms of, like, you know, how it plays, how it functions, how many bugs there are, and like how to find bugs. They don't know that. They're just like, well, this guy found a lot of, I don't know, typos in this area of the game. It's like, yeah, if I go find typos in this area of the game, they're already been entered by that one guy. What do you mean? What do you mean just go there and find more? Like, no, he found all of them. Like, that's not how it works. QA is very luck based, believe it or not. There's not a lot of skill. It's, you don't need to be talented to find bugs in the game. Okay, there is a level of talent, alright? There is a way to find bugs. But the majority of bugs you're gonna find is just by fucking around for 8 hours a day on the same game for a year, alright? For 2 years, for 3 years, okay? I worked in QA for 5 years. I've not been on a lot of projects. I've been on, like, I mean, there's a lot of like short, like 1 week long projects, but like in general, like big project, I've only been on like maybe 5. Now, how to enter a bug. That's kind of not really interesting, but here's an example. Let's say this is a, I don't know. Oh my god, this is huge. This is fucking huge, bro. Let's say this is the bug for the Ouya, alright? So you're like, oh hell yeah, Comic Sans. You go Ouya. Let's say this is a I don't know, like a flickering issue. It would be like, let's say shadow. Maybe I don't need it bolded. There we go. And then you're like, you know, you need to go like PAL format, right? So you go problem, flickering, action. Flickering is not a good one for action, but so there's no action, so I can skip action, right? And I can just go to location. Let's say like under table in temple, right? That would be a bug title. Or maybe like action could be like during sunset, you know? So that's your title, right? And the description is like, you go into detail, blah 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 blah, right? Then you're like, okay, repro rate, let's say 5 out of 5. It's a fucking flickering issue, right? And then you put some notes in there. You're like, only occurs during sunset. And if you're fucking working for a freak of a client, freak of a company, there might be like 10 of these, you know? It might be like occurs on every setting, like graphic setting, occurs on I don't know, save file. Sometimes they're like, hey, can you give us a save file, even though it's like you really don't need one. And then you're like, okay, how to repro, or like, yeah, repro step, you know? It's like, launch the fucking game, fucking idiot. That it's so boring. It's so fucking boring, right? Launch the game. Progress to temple. Look under table. Save starts here. That's a, you know, that's a repro step, and then they'll be like, can we get debug steps? And it's like launch game, and then it's like copy coordinates. It's like that's how you write the fucking bug. And then you add the attachment, you know? If you're like, if it's for a small company, it's usually just like, hey, can you get us like a short video? And like maybe a log if they're feeling fancy. Alright, again, it might be a save file for certain big developers. Sometimes they want more bullshit, so they'll have like 10 different fucking logs. Maybe they'll ask you for like a timestamp so they can grab like an ID, so they can grab some like data from their server if it's like an online game. And even sometimes like offline games, they have like online components, and they're like, no, we need this bullshit for some reason, and they really don't. Particularly if it's like a fucking flickering issue, just go to the area and fix the lighting. They really don't need all this info, but you know, yeah, big AAA corpo, man, they need the bullshit. They need to like make your, it's stupid, it's bloated. And you know, sometimes the devs also just hate you because, you know, they have people working QA from the inside, and they're like, oh, actually, we're paying these fucking randos who could, you know, they're a security risk and all that, but it's always from the inside almost. From my experience, it's never like from the outside. It's always from the inside. It's always like angry employees from the company itself that have access to all this bullshit. Structure and management, very fun. I don't even want to talk about it. Again, devs don't fucking play the game. It's fucking stupid. I mean, again, it depends on the company. Where I work, they don't fucking play the game. Some TQA they do. Not FQA. FQA fucking blows. FQA blows. It sucks. But yeah, the work in office and work from home dynamic is fucking terrible. Again, I need to like go to like a fucking meeting room and have like a webcam meeting every fucking 2 weeks where they just tell me, hey, this is, are you are you hitting your expectations, yay or nay? And you have like a few different things, so you know, like bug count, communication, that kind of bullshit. Maybe there's a lot of bullshit that just doesn't fucking matter, but like those are generally the two big ones. I'm trying to think. They really don't fucking matter. They really don't. It's bloated. It's stupid. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fucking leads work from home. Fun. Awful. Like, I understand that like work from home is ideal for a lot of people, and it's pretty cool. It works for a lot of people. There should still be leads in office for the people who work in office. I like socializing. Socializing is the only thing I like about this job. It really is. And they're kind of taking that away from me. It's awful, you know. Corporatization. Oh, I like how I said meeting in bracket here. That's because one of the things I like doing was, you know, I was like, oh, these meetings are really like silly, and I like poking fun at them, right? Because they will play like bad music in the background. There would be like technical issues. And I made like a bingo, an Excel bingo generator with like randomly generated fucking squares, just poking fun of like all the little bullshit that would happen in every single one of these meetings. You know, like someone's kid just walks in the back and it's like funny. It's go haha, and someone's kid is in the fucking frame, right? And it got more and more fucked up. Where like at first it's just like, okay, someone was like drinking something during in the meeting, you know, and you're like, that's not very professional, haha. But then like it became like, oh, they talk about AI and Web3 and like all of this bullshit, and sometimes it's like buzzwords. So you know, they'll say opportunity. This is all about the opportunity of the company, or and you as a tester. It's like, what are you saying? You're not saying anything. You're saying opportunity, but I'm not saying any opportunity. I can't move up. I can't do anything. You're just saying opportunity. Fuck off. It sucks. It fucking blows. I hate it. But one of the things I noticed over time is early on, like 5 years ago, I would always see like Funko Pops and like tacky like nerd merch, and that slowly turned into toy cars. I'm like, oh. You're telling me this old man with bald white hair who's got little toy car figures in the back, he doesn't like video games and nerd shit? He wants to buy cars instead? Tell me these guys are mad at me? You know, I just see that and I'm just like, I'm kind of questioning what's happening, you know? And it sucks. And this kind of goes into this thing, the video game crash argument. I fucking hate this. This is like just kind of a me thing, but people always bring up like, oh man, I wish there was a video game crash today. And I think it's very silly because the video game crash happened during like the fucking Atari, right? The fucking ET on the Atari. That's the one that always gets brought up, but like that only happened in America. That was a crash only in America, and video games were kind of just like this small gimmick thing. It wasn't like huge like fucking music and movies. All right, like no one's like, oh man, I hope movies are gonna crash. Movies are not gonna crash tomorrow. Okay, movies are here to stay. Video games are here to stay. It's not gonna happen. At least not like that. There might be like one company that crashes. All right. Not the entire industry. That is insane to imagine. Like, the economy entirely or one company? Sure. Video games only? No. That's not happening. I hate this. Like, it's the NES didn't even come out. Like, that's back when like games were nothing. Alright? And there was just like a bunch of people investing in there, and then they were like, oh, this is going down, let's just back out. You know? War games, buggy, who is to blame? Now that's a funny question because sometimes I see people being like, oh man, did they not do QA? Or they're like, oh, the publishers are at fault. Or they're like, oh, the devs don't polish the game. And the reality is, it's complicated. It's very, very complicated. It's mostly definitely the publishers for sure. Just management in general, because they want to release the game ASAP and maximize profits, right? And they want to avoid dropping a game around GTA 6, alright? So they'll rush their fucking game as soon as possible, man. Or they'll just delay the fuck out of it. But it's complicated. Let me give you some examples. As a QA tester, I can already tell you right now, like, you know, when there's 100 people testing a game for 8 hours a day for a year, everything's been entered. Everything's already been entered, man. It really has. It really fucking has, right? We're just wasting resources. It's great. Well, here's the thing. Like, I was explaining how to write a bug earlier. I forgot to mention the SABC, right? There's multiple variants of this. Sometimes there's no D, sometimes there's a D. Alright, but generally it's you know, S is critical, A is high, B is medium, and you got your C, which is minor. Alright. Minor bugs is something that's purely visual. Mid is usually something that slightly affects gameplay. High is something that majorly affects gameplay, and S is basically a crash or like complete progress blocker, right? So like this will be like, you know, something is clipping, you know, maybe your character walks slightly under the floor and like the feet are clipping through the floor a little bit, right? That's pretty minor. Mid like gameplay would be I don't know, you have like an ability that makes you reload like 5% faster. It doesn't actually work. That's like a slight gameplay issue. A high gameplay issue would be like you can't fast travel. It just stopped working, so you have to like walk all the way to the other location. It's really fucking annoying. It's a major like mechanic of the game, and it makes it really annoying for the player. That would be high in my opinion, because it's like a whole mechanic that just straight up doesn't work well. This is more like a stat multiplier that's like not functional. And critical, again, crash, stuff like that. Simple, right? But actually, I don't want to delete this. Devs will focus on the crits. They don't want the game to crash. They don't want the game to softlock. They don't want any of that, alright? So they have to take care of these first. So, you know, when you look at a game and you're like, wow, this is really buggy, and you're like seeing all like the flickering and like missing texture, this is minor, right? For you, they're big issues, right? Because you're like, wow, this thing doesn't have textures on it. That is fucking awful. That's a minor issue, right? Developers will prioritize things that affects gameplay, and so the visual things that you'll notice instantly, like screenshots and stuff, that tends to just kind of be left for later. And the more minor it is, the more likely they're not gonna fix it. And if you enter minor issues really early on, a lot of the time the devs will, you know, if the game is really in a really bad state, they'll probably ignore it completely, and they'll kind of forget about it, so it kind of just stay there. Well, you know, if you enter it at a point where there's like not really much, they'll probably be more likely to look into it, or maybe just, I don't know, maybe they don't care. Because that's the thing, there are sometimes devs who are a little lazy, you know, like sometimes you'll have someone who's like, oh, this is really important, and then they'll send it to another dev, and the other dev's like, nah, it's not worth my time, I'm not gonna do this, and they just close it. That happens, alright? It can be anybody, okay? Anyone can be a problem when it comes to bug, alright? It's a team effort. and there's a lot of people invested in this bullshit. So you know, it's pretty complicated. Um, I do think there's like a lot of overview that needs to be done, and like double checking on most fronts, instead of just being like one guy who's like, yeah, I don't want to do this, let me close it. Again, not trying to push it on the dev, but I do have a bias as a QA tester, right? Sometimes people will just make up bugs as well because of their code, and they're like, well, I need to enter something, let me find some bullshit that clearly isn't a bug, but let me like try to phrase it like it sounds like it's a bug, right? Like that happens. That's fucking awful. That's sad, but it does happen, right? And yeah, I'm basically getting into this right now. This affects me a lot because I have these quotas. I have these please enter 2 bugs a day moments when the game has been released for years. And again, live services are not made to like it doesn't work with expectations, so it's just fucking sucks. Sorry for swearing a lot, man. I'm sorry. I'm just a little anxious and bored, you know? A little anxious and bored. I don't even know if I'm gonna release this video. I kind of want to. I think it's important, but at the same time, it's like, man, it's kind of stressful for me to release something like this. I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah, I was gonna get into this super best friends. I got into them while working in QA, right? They're like this. They used to do let's plays, right? And they all kind of went in their own way. But there are a bunch of old QA testers from my region who went into content creation. And you know, I like listening to Castle Super Beast podcast and hearing them talk about back in the days in QA and kind of putting their knowledge into this and just kind of like making content that they really like, that can, or you know, profit from the knowledge they have as, you know, previously QA testers. You know, like Matt Muscles makes these videos about the game industry and like how fucked it is for like devs and QA testers and even like some of the higher ups sometimes. And that's why I got into streaming, because I'm like, well, I can play games, you know, that's already what I do for a living. I stream, I test game 8 hours a day. I could stream 8 hours a day, no problem. You know, sometimes people come to me and they're like, hey, why are you doing a 24-hour stream? Isn't that like fucked up? I'm like, this is nothing for me. This is nothing for you. You think this is anything for me? I can do this all the time. That's what I do every fucking day, man. It's nothing. You know, so I kind of see them as inspiration. I'm like, well, these guys used to work, you know, the same companies and in the same region as me, doing the same thing. And, you know, they started making videos and they got out of there. And to me, it's inspiring. And, you know, I wish I could just transition into that really easily, but that's not the reality. You know, the YouTube algo was really generous to me a few, you know, last year, or like early this, not early this year. This year it's been terrible. Last year I was like gaining like 1 to 2 subs a day. The last 2 months it's just been stagnating a lot. And I don't know, maybe I'm overworking myself. I don't think my content has gotten worse or anything. Just streaming every single day for 2 years, 3 years, 2 years, 2 years and a half. Good time. I like it. Like, it's very therapeutic. I like talking to people. I wish I could like really, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really burnt out. This is a cry for help. This is a fucking cry for help. I hate the game industry, man. I hate everything. This sucks.